Tonight, relatives of John Crawford III say they're demanding justice for his fatal shooting by police at a Walmart in Ohio. A grand jury refused to indict, but now the Justice Department is investigating. Newly released surveillance video shows Crawford walking around the Walmart, talking on his cell phone and carrying a pellet gun he grabbed off a shelf in the store. There's no sound on the tape, but police said they did tell him to drop the gun. The prosecutor says officers were justified in their actions because they believed they were in a so-called active shooter situation.
Were the police facing such a situation here? No. Did they know that? No. They're told we've got a guy in here with a rifle, he's loading the rifle, and he's pointing it at people.
In the moments before the shooting, you can see Crawford swinging the pellet gun by his side, though none of the videos show him pointing it at other people or at the police. Now this 22-year-old man is gone. His children have lost their father, and his family members say they want justice. Joining me now is John Crawford Jr., the father of John Crawford III, and Michael Wright, the attorney representing the family. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
First, Mr. Crawford, our condolences for your loss. How's your family doing?
Well, Reverend Sharpton, as you can imagine, we're just taking it one day at a time. You know, I'm still numb behind it, and we're just trying to, I'm glad we have God on our side to ground us, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're just going to take it one day at a time. So overall, you know, we're still, a lot of us are still grieving, you know, but we're going to get past this.
I can feel that. What was your reaction when you heard the grand jury had refused to indict in this case?
Oh, I was in absolute disbelief. I was in absolute disbelief. I was saying to myself, how could a young man go inside of a Walmart out of all places and shop and not come out alive? So as you can imagine, I was in total disbelief.
Attorney Wright, before I go to you, though, I want to ask you one other question, Mr. Crawford. What do you hope will come out of the Justice Department investigation?
Well, I sincerely hope that the Department of Justice will get involved, as we initially wanted them to, in an effort to go about prosecuting and convicting this officer for killing my son.
Attorney Wright, what's your response to the fact that the 911 caller who said that there was a threat, he later recanted his claim that John was, in fact, pointing the gun at people?
Well, we think that's problematic. We believe that had the officers corroborated this 911 caller's story in some manner, that Mr. Crawford would still be here with us.
So they never corroborated the story, they just went from the initial call?
That's absolutely correct. It's our understanding that they took this 911 call, came into the store, confronted Mr. Crawford, and just shot him on sight.
What do you want from the Justice Department, Attorney Wright?
We want the Justice Department to get involved and make the determination that John's civil rights were violated and prosecute this police officer for shooting and killing John Crawford.
Mr. Crawford, your son was talking on the cell phone when he was shot. Do you know who he was talking to, what was going on when he was shot?
Yes, Reverend Sharpton. He was actually talking to the mother of his children while he was on the phone.
Okay. How would you describe your son to those that are watching that didn't know him?
As I mentioned, you know, he was a loving person. He was a loving father. He left behind two children. A 1-year-old, John H. Crawford IV, and a 6-month-old, Jaden
Wow.
Crawford. He was very family-oriented. He loved sports growing up. He was very, very good in football. And as he got older, you know, he was really, as I mentioned before, your typical 22-year-old young person. You know, he had stressed to me concerns about continuing his education, which was music to my ears, frankly, because that's something that we value in our family. We are all college graduates on my side, on my side. So, you know, in many aspects, he was your typical 22-year-old man, a young man trying to figure out what his next moves are going to be.
You said he left a 1-year-old and a 6-month-old. The children just babies. What will you tell them about their father?
I will tell him that he loved them very much, which he did. I will tell them that he was a progressive person, that he's a people's person, which is ironic enough that something like this would happen. Those who know him well would say that he was a very laid back, if you will, individual. And that's what I would tell him. I would tell him that he loved you very much.
And I hope you can tell them that it ended with justice. John Crawford Jr. and Michael Wright, thank you both for your time tonight. Our prayers are with you and your family.
Reverend Sharpton, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.